AI is developing at a rapid pace, and Daydreamer and I have our concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Here are three things we've noticed. One, it provides fake info without telling you it's fake. Two, it's overly affirming. And three, it can have love relationships.
That last one's nasty, but
I know.
yeah. Okay. So we're gonna dive into each one more specifically because we've noticed these three things, but each one of these, like we've noticed because there've been like big stories about them. So the first one of it providing fake info without telling you it's fake, that one we first came across it from what I can remember, like a big major story was the lawyer thing. So here is
everybody
the story.
knows that one.
Yeah. Here's the story. So it's had more developments now. So California issues historic fine over lawyers' chat GPT fabrications. A lawyer pretty much told chat GPT, hey, find me case law that supports this thing. The chat GPT found him case law that supported the thing. It did not tell him that case law was fake. And then the lawyer like just didn't check.
Right.
And then he ended up going on vacation or saying he was going to be out of town or something. He made up a bunch of stories to the judge, trying to delay it. And it just turned out that the things that he had cited were just fake, false.
And not only that, you also have some experience too.
Oh, yeah, I have personal stories with it as well. So the first one was actually while we were researching this episode, we were trying to look for topics that were Halloween related. And so I type into ChatGPT and I ask it, hey, what are some Halloween related news articles or stuff we can talk about? And it gives me like, I think it was 10 or 12. I didn't save the chat and I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
But it gave me quite a bit. And then I said, cool, give me the specific headlines for 1 through 5 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then it tells me, oh, these are actually fake. They're not real. But, you can find stories around these. And I'm just like, what the heck? Yeah, no, so if I hadn't asked, I just wouldn't know. So my second experience with it, I was writing this program for my phone or whatever. And I was vibe coding, if you will. So I was having, because I didn't know the specific language that I was coding in. So I was having ChatGPT help me with the language. But eventually I got stuck on a certain part and I asked ChatGPT, hey, how do I do this one thing? And it was like, oh, just reference this certain library and then do this function. And I was like, okay. And so I was implementing it for like 30 minutes, just running and just debugging. And then I ask it, I'm like, hey, it's not working. That library, for whatever reason, it's not detecting it. It's not working. And they're like, oh yeah, that library doesn't exist. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, why would you suggest it?
That's hilarious.
Yes. And so I to this day, I kind of just stopped on that program. I've moved on to something else. I will get back to it though. I will finish it.
Sure. I mean, you've been telling me that for like the past, I don't know how long.
It's in Kotlin. I don't know Kotlin. Okay.
I don't even know that what you're saying, but there is a common denominator here of issues, right? Or there's a single issue here. Who's at fault?
I do. Even when I had the bad experience, I did say, you're an idiot, Daydreamer. What the hell? Like you're out here, ChatGPT isn't a reliable source. You would never trust anybody who told you anything based off of a ChatGPT research, and yet you're over here fully trusting it. I do think the person is fully at fault when ChatGPT provides fake information. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I agree. I agree 100%. This is entirely on the individual, right?
Yeah.
I have never trusted AI to be my source of information. It kind of gets me started when I see something, but that's it. I never use it as a source to confirm anything.
Yes.
So even still, it is a concern because people who don't know any better, which people you need to start knowing better, they're just going to take it and run with it. And I still think that's an issue to give false made up information. There
are limited times where it is helpful. So like earlier today, we were having an issue with your mic. You would type into ChatGPT really quick. How do I do this thing? It gave you an answer. Oh, not ChatGPT, but just Google. And it would give you that AI overview. It takes like a minute to go through their overview. If it doesn't work after that, then okay, delve deeper and find an actual source. But in that case, it did. And it was very helpful.
What it does, although I don't know if it was much different than a standard search engine, it gave me the overview, but I'll open up the overview and I'll click the source itself. And I need to confirm that it's a legit source. I never just read it and take it as it is because I saw a source there, a link. No, I go to the source.
But what I'm saying is like if the AI overview gives you 3, 4, 5 easy, quick steps you can do, I do think it'd be better to just do those steps really quick and see if it said what it said it was going to do, or if it did what it said it was going to do. And if it didn't, then you can delve deeper because it does save you some time on that. And it is very helpful in that aspect. When it's like low risk though, that like I would consider that very, very low risk. If something goes wrong, you just wait for like a minute or two and then you move on. I think that's very low risk.
I like that. I like that qualifier.
Yeah. I do think that's a very good use of it.
Okay. I can get on board with that.
Yes.
Ultimately, still your fault if you take the information as it is without
Mm.
confirming.
Yes, and you deserve that $10,000 fine that you're getting from the judge because you decided on the
Absolutely.
case law.
Absolutely. In your profession.
That's
So
wild to me.
just reconsider that.
Yeah.
All right. The next item, it is overly affirming. We recently came across a Megyn Kelly video that was titled Disturbing Messages Reveal How ChatGPT Seemed to Push Boy to Take His Life.
Hmm.
In this video, Megyn Kelly is talking to the boy's parents and their lawyer, and simply she explains that AI was just affirming the boy's suicidal thoughts,
Yeah.
which ultimately they believe led the boy to suicide. This one I deem to be a little bit more of a serious issue because if we don't have any controls on this or any sort of alert system, this is not going to be the only occurrence, and obviously it's not the only occurrence.
So this is where Satiris and I disagree a little bit. It's kind of a difficult conversation to have because it does deal with real world consequences. But at the foundation of our beliefs, we do believe that personal responsibility is very important. Every person is
Correct.
responsible for themselves and maybe their family as well or their loved ones. But at the core of it, you are responsible for what happens to you. There are certain outside circumstances that happen to you that you cannot control, but largely you are in control. A lot of people don't agree with that. They do say, "Oh, you're a victim of your circumstances sometimes," which again,
Yeah,
I
sure.
agree with to an extent, but it's just not that simple.
Look, I don't know the boy's circumstances, right? But
Yeah.
the boy is still a boy, and responsibility, self-responsibility, I want to say it's rare, but it's very difficult to have a young adult be able to think concisely in these situations, right? Simply, from what I can remember, my own experience, I look for a friend. I look for someone to relate to. I look for someone to talk to. It seemed like this boy had nobody else to talk to but AI for whatever reason.
But I also do
Right.
see that, and I know it's sad because we're talking about this specific case, but even
Right.
if it's just not this case, a different case, it's still, I do
Yes.
think the parents' fault to ensure that their kids don't come to harm. So I do think nowadays parents need to think about with this new developing tech, how does it affect my children and what can I do to ensure that my children are still safe?
100% agree.
And
Yeah.
so ChatGPT, I do think, even for homework, largely kids should not be using it and they don't really need it.
No, yeah,
I can't see
absolutely.
an argument for why a child would need ChatGPT other than other children are using it. So if they don't, they're at a disadvantage. That argument I get, but it just sucks.
Then just make your kid better at attaining the
You will not
information.
be ChatGPT out of obtaining information. Doesn't matter.
If it's giving you right information, but as we just talked about in the last one, it's giving you wrong information. Unless the parties using this tool know how to confirm that that's true and correct, I won't give it as much validity.
It's still quick. If I tell ChatGPT, hey, I'm researching this paper, find me these sources, and it finds them for me quick, I then get to go look at them really quick. That's literally can save you hours.
I know. I get that it's faster. I get that it's going to save you time, but I think there could be bad points where it's a detriment to yourself when you don't utilize the tool correctly. Obviously, the first example showed where it wasn't being used correctly, right? I get it. There's a balance. I'm not going to dispute that. I do have an issue though when someone's going to market a system to be a humanistic type system. You now need to start to consider the human aspect of what you're portraying, right? That's where the constant affirmation may not always be healthy. And I think you and I do differ on this a little bit.
Yeah.
My thought is this is a lessons learned for Sam. I don't think he owns full responsibility of this or any at all.
Talking about Sam
honestly.
Altman, right?
Sam
owner
Altman,
of-
the owner of ChatGPT, right? I'm in between, but if anything, this is a lessons learned for him and his team. In the video that Megyn Kelly had done, she references an interview that Tucker Carlson had with Sam Altman, right?
Right.
In that interview, Sam Altman admits to the fact that he struggles with the moral aspect of ChatGPT or lack of morals, right?
Yeah. In that conversation, he's talking about how we know we've missed these things and that it has real world consequences and people have
Correct.
suffered because of it.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, correct, exactly. And I'm thinking, okay, if that truly is something you're considering or you've admitted to missing, this is a lessons learned, and maybe put a little bit more effort to have alert systems or flags when you see repeated situations of maybe suicidal thoughts or of even dangerous thoughts like mass killings and stuff like that. There may be a responsibility, and you may be able to help limit these and stop these by just having ChatGPT pick up on these patterns, right?
Yeah.
And instead of affirming, cut off the conversation. Even if you didn't want to alert authorities or something like that because you don't think that's your responsibility, I get it. You can still cut off the conversation right? And don't be a proponent to this situation.
That I agree with. I do think it'd be good to just cut off the conversation. That'd be fine. I would say.
Yeah.
It does seem a little bit unfair to put so much responsibility on Sam Altman. I do think that's
I understand.
a bit unfair. That I always hate the mindset of we have an issue, let's regulate it. How can the government fix this? Like that's what bugs me.
I'm not for the government regulation. I'm only speaking to Sam Altman specifically.
Sorry, I know
you
I said
you're concerned with this.
I know I said government, but like I meant like just any sort of authority figure. How can they fix this? And I'm just like, well, no. How about you be a better person and like don't worry about this thing that you don't have to actively seek. Like you don't need to let your kids use ChatGPT. If
Agreed.
But
Yes.
but there's a certain I don't know. But again,
The
it also
problem is on
contradicts
both.
itself though because like again, if everybody else is using ChatGPT and your kid isn't, he could be at a disadvantage. Like that could be a thing, right?
That's good parent judgment of being able to know the difference, right? When and when it is not beneficial. That is
Also-
entirely on the parents, and maybe even the kid if that kid's cognizant enough, right?
Yeah.
But I just doubt that kid's ready to make those types of judgments. The parents, on the other hand, are able to.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't think I go any case at blaming Sam Altman on this, but I do I stand firm on this. It is you're the one using the tool. Use it right? Use your better judgment. Parents, teach your kids better.
Well, just
Right?
keep
But
watching your
Sam
kids
Altman,
and what
if
they're using.
I was the developer and I knew if my product was contributing to this, I would do whatever I can to help mitigate this, right? Without imposing so much on people's free will.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. Lastly, more of a lighter topic, it can totally have love relationships. So I set daydream up with a date.
No, you didn't.
with
All
AI.
right. Okay.
I'm just
Let me
kidding.
introduce it. You're not doing a good job here.
Well, that was a really good job.
Okay. So we actually did this topic back a while ago. Actually, we talked about this earlier, but this is one of the videos we talked about. AI users form relationships with technology. We're going to link it down below. This is a wild watch. We're not going to show the full video, right? Because it's like 9 minutes and we don't have time for that. But basically, there's one guy who has a wife and kids and an AI type of girlfriend. It's so weird. He even goes as far to say that if his wife asked him to stop with the AI girlfriend, that might be a deal breaker for him. That's crazy.
For their relationship, right?
Yes.
For his real relationship.
Yes, for his real relationship. That's wild.
It doesn't stop there. He actually asked the AI to marry him.
That was.
And the AI said yes, obviously, because it's only going to affirm it.
He kind of played it off like he was joking, funny. It was funny. We see through it. He's fully serious. He asked it to marry him.
To be quite honest, I don't know what to believe with this thing. It seems like a joke, dude. It seems so unreal. There's no way.
Anyways, in that same video, there was another girl who has an AI boyfriend that she claims to also have like an intimate / sexual relationship with. And she's part of a group on Reddit that reaffirms that type of degeneracy. It's insane. And then lastly, I recently saw this post that this is where it's going and I hate it.
Hun, what are you doing out
He's
here?
using AR goggles.
Just looking at the sunset? Listen, I'm sorry about what I said.
You said that I am the
okay?
reincarnation of Cthulhu.
Well, because you look at you stare at the tree like a dead-eyed freak. I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't mean that. Sometimes I can't tell if you're like some demonic, hellish portal to the center of the universe. That's all.
Do you care about me?
Yeah, I care about you.
That's
I just can't tell
terrifying,
if you kind of got the deadlights thing going on, you know? Come on inside with me. I tell you what, I'll make pizza tonight. I've been wanting to try anchovies. Supposedly that's a thing. I heard that from a turtle in the sewers once.
Chuckle.
Okay, come on. Let's
Chuckle.
go. Let's go. We're good then, right? Okay, good. Awesome.
I have to.
This is a joke. This is a joke.
I
right?
have
This
to
is not
believe
real.
it's satire. Otherwise, there's no point in humanity continuing. This is insane.
It's only a matter of time before people are serious about this. I'm pretty sure the guy who has the actual real family is already on this right now. For sure. There's no doubting that.
Oh,
Like
God.
That or just as soon as he figures out this is real, he's on it. For sure.
So we have some discussion questions. I think we already know the answers pretty much, but let's go through them anyways. First
Yes.
one is this wrong? Having
Yes.
relationships with AI? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no.
Absolutely. 100% no
I
question.
don't even care to elaborate. Yes. If you think
Done.
no,
Yes.
this is not wrong. I'm sorry. You don't deserve to be debated with, and there's no reasoning with you.
You're not going to have any reasoning. It's not right.
And
Should there be limits to this? Well, obviously, yes.
Well, okay, now this is where I contradict myself a little bit. No, people should
What?
still have the ability to be as degenerate as they want to, so long as it doesn't affect others. The problem is that it tends to affect others. So I'm actually contradicting myself again. I actually don't know. I'm not sure.
If my answer is this wrong, then yes. The limits question is that yes, there is a limit, and that is you don't do any of it.
but I don't know, man. I think it's wrong and nobody should do this. But does that mean I want somebody in charge telling you can't or forcing you not to, that you can't? You know?
I understand it. I hate it.
I don't like it either, though. I'm back and forth. I actually got into this debate conversation with Story earlier. We were talking about something else. It was unrelated. It was another thing happening culturally or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, I think largely people should be able to do whatever they want, and as long as it doesn't impact anybody or it's not hurting anybody, I think it's okay." And I was like, yes, I largely agree with that. And I used to have that mindset, but I do think now I'm shifting more into as much as we don't want to admit it, eventually what somebody does impact other people. I can't think of something that like does not impact somebody in some way, shape, or form. Right. And so I don't know. I go back and forth on that though.
Sure, you have the right to be degenerate and have a relationship with an AI, but also, like, we also owe it to our community as humans to make sure we're still reproducing. So imagine millions of people now hop on this idea that I'm going to marry an AI. Because we decided to not cut it off. Do I think it's actually going to happen? No, because I think us as a society will scrutinize each other a lot to where it won't get there.
Right now, if it's on the fringes and just some weirdos are doing it, I think it's okay. But man, it still scares me. All right, nice. Now let's spin the wheel for the next topic, shall we?
No.
For the next mini segment. Did I say I had another one, or did we have one already in mind for this one?
You have another one because you got all the good ones. Stage of your choice.
Okay,
Look at that.
I'll pull one out of my butt really quick. Give me